Hey guys, real quick observation here. I mean, just to give you an idea of how crazy this market is. So, yesterday I was short Shopify during the day, 80 shares. I covered too early, had a huge drop intraday, but article came out I think around 1 p.m. saying it's one of the most overvalued companies of the major NASDAQ large cap companies. And I mean, I agree with that, but I also like to buy it on weakness and short it on strength, depending on the setup and where we're at in the market, macros. But I mean, we open up today and you can see this thing just from an area of weakness in the 900s just rockets up from 980 to 1040. I mean, that's 60 points. I mean, if you bought 10 shares, you're making $600, assuming you catch the bottom. Well, you could buy it at the open and then just run it. But then you can see kind of intraday how they kind of toy with everyone here. So here's the one of the major pullback areas, and you can kind of see we have a touch there, 3 touches, then 4 touches, then 5 touches. And with each touch, it pushes higher. This one probably caught the shorts off guard there, and now you go through a triple top on the pivot here from the initial move up. So this is your pivot line, right? The first big breakdown from this move up. You have a nice channel wave, and then it rolls over. So the top of that candle also kind of became horizontal resistance across this here. So they're just playing this little channel area now. This one definitely probably caught some shorts because they probably shorted it here looking for to cover back in here, and it kind of rocketed back up and then went to that triple top. So I kind of think the top's in, but it's a little bit whippy here, and you're gonna have to see it break this lower trend line here before you're gonna get some juice out of it to the downside. Then you might get down to like 1019. It could be another 10-point move, 15-point move to the downside. 10-point move actually from that lower level channel. But yeah, it gets a little bit sketchy in here, trying to figure out if you're going heavy size, where to short at and where to cover, without losing your butt. But you can definitely see this is what the traders are looking at. Should we break this channel line along here, which would, depending on the time frame, be around 1028, you're probably going to see at least a move down to the 1025 area, if not further down. But we'll have to see how that plays out. The market seems to be kind of trying to reverse here intraday from some pullbacks. Boeing, I got 400 shares of this on the bottom in this area here, and I have a really tight stop. I don't want to see it retest this channel low. If we do, we'll get half of it out of there. But if you look at Boeing, it's interesting. It's if this market really is showing some broad moves, you're going to see Boeing pop this little wedge in here. And you can see how over the last 5 days, it's kind of made this little bottoming channel. And I'll show you on a 20-minute chart because it's not going to show up on the 1-minute chart. So you can see over the last 5 days during the regular trading session, not the after hours, it's gone a little bit lower. But you can kind of see it keeps hitting this area right along the 181s and then bouncing. Remember, intraday, not after hours. 181, 181. I don't like the idea that it was able to get lower in after hours, but during the regular trading session, it seems to be hitting this 181 multiple times. And then the tops are kind of insignificant. You can't really get a 5-minute candle over 188. I'd have to see what candles those were, but it seems to be having trouble 188, 189. But now you're starting to get in this little wedge tightening in here. So if the market's going to reverse intraday, which it's kind of amazing that we've been sitting up here as we have, you might at least see this retest this pivot here, and depending on how the market acts further down the road here intraday, you could have a move beyond there into maybe the 183 area. It's hard to say, but from a risk reward, it was an easy setup here. Not a recommendation because it's not my favorite trade here, especially with Boeing's weakness. Not being able to hold some of these moves that it's making off these low levels. Like I said, it's a simple low risk, not high reward, but decent reward.